Hey guys, it's Abhiram here. Welcome back to another episode of Drive Terrain. Today I have with me the all-new latest 2024 Lexus RX350h. So this is a completely new RX from the grounds up. It has nothing to do with previous generation RX. So new engines, new platform. And platform, by the way, is the TNGA platform, the new Toyota New Global Architecture. So this is specifically the GAK platform. So it's shared between vehicles such as the RAV4, Camry, Highlander, the NX, and of course the TX, which is actually a longer car than this, and you have the RX as well. So the RX is actually quite interesting. It was marketed as the world's first luxury crossover. From the time it was launched until now, I think Lexus has managed to maintain that badge it has. However, over the years, we have had multiple changes in terms of powertrain, platforms. So yeah, it has advanced quite a lot from what it was back in the day. So let's talk about the different variants of the RX on sale here in the UAE market. So it's actually quite interesting how they have actually put the whole lineup. So previously you used to have multiple models such as the 450h, the regular 350, which came with a 3.5 litre V6. The V6 is gone now, it's dead. You only have 4-cylinder engines. So that's quite surprising, wasn't it? And also the L is no longer there. So instead they now brought out a new model in the North American markets called the Lexus TX, which we unfortunately don't get here in this market, because if you want a 3-row Lexus, you can just get the LX600, which is much better, much luxurious, and also much more expensive. So coming specifically to the car that we have here today, this is the RX350h Platinum. So this is the top of the range in the 350 portfolio. So for the whole RX portfolio, we have multiple models available on sale. So you have the regular RX350, which comes with a turbocharged 4-cylinder. So that starts at 285,000, I believe, for the Prestige, and you have the F Sport model for that as well, which comes in, if I'm not wrong, at the same price as what this costs, which is a Platinum 350h. So let's talk about exterior styling on the Lexus RX, which is actually quite interesting. So one of the main changes for this new RX is that they've actually made the hood longer, which definitely helps with the visual interpretation of the car. Even the proportions have actually become much better compared to the old RX. You get the triple beam LED headlamps with the signature L DRLs as well. Overall, looks quite great, really imposing from the front. But the main topic of discussion of the exterior, of course, is the reinterpreted spindle grille, which, what do I think of it actually? It's not bad, it looks good, it definitely looks good. It looks appealing from the front. I like how they did the transition, like the transition from like the holes to the actual grill over here. And this is functional, by the way, it does draw air into the intake. So yeah, this looks nice actually, it looks alright. You also do get LED fog lamps here on the bottom as well, and some non-functional vents. Yeah, these don't really do anything. You've got a generous dose of chrome and piano black going all throughout the car. You also do get this chrome lining going all around the windows as well, which gives it that premium touch. You get 21-inch alloy wheels on this platinum trim, which looks great. Keyless entry and go, however, you don't have physical door handles. Instead, you have a button. So you just push on that button, you can unlock the car and place your finger on the sensor and you can lock the car. So yeah, pretty interesting that way. A new mechanism, new luxury, modernization, whatever you want to call it, it's that. And they've reduced the overhangs on the back and increased the overhang or the length of the bonnet on the front. So overall, in terms of visual proportions, it does help quite a bit actually. Well, coming to the rear end of the new Lexus RX, it looks absolutely stunning, doesn't it? You get this long strip of LED taillights at the back. So Lexus calls it the Blade LED taillights. And it looks absolutely stunning at night. It does have this wraparound effect as well on both the sides, which looks quite nice. And you do get the Lexus badge over here and RX350h and all-wheel drive badging as well. So overall from the back, it does, at least for me, look much better than the old RX. So now let's discover the boot space on the Lexus RX. So there's multiple ways to do it actually. So you can either click the button beneath the tailgate, or you can even wave your foot underneath the rear bumper like you can in most modern day cars. So you need to have the key with you. So just do that and the tailgate will open by itself electronically. Well, in the back, space is actually not that bad. You do have sufficient space in the back. So right now you can see that I put my bags and my camera gear at the back. It's actually quite long in terms of the space. It's quite wide as well. The loading lip, however, is quite high. So if you're carrying like luggage from the ground and putting it up, yeah, the loading lip is a bit high. But other than that, it's got enough space. Well, as for amenities in the back, you can fold down the second row of seats, and you can do that with just the touch of a button. So just click this and click this, you can electronically fold the second row of seats if you want to keep more stuff, which is actually pretty cool. And I can just bring them up as well using the same set of buttons. They will come back up automatically. So that's pretty cool. Other than that, well, you have a 12-volt charging socket, I believe. Yep, you got a 12-volt charging socket. You've got some space here. Nope, space there. You've got your spare tire and your jack equipment, and yeah, that's pretty much it at the back. So let's talk about interiors on the Lexus RX. What are my initial thoughts of it? Well, it's really luxurious and comfortable in here. It's a nice place to be in. You've got leather wrapped steering wheel with this wood trim inserts, which feels very luxurious and premium. Obviously, you have to justify the 325,000 dirham price tag. So yeah, I really do want some premium materials in here. The way they have integrated everything is nice. Be it the suede finishing on the door cards, the leather finishing, even the seats are very comfortable, wrapped in leather wrapped steering wheel. You do get this wood trim going on through the dashboard, so you have it over here with this kind of metallic lining finish as well to border it, which goes through the AC vents. So the overall way they've designed the interior, I really like it. It does feel premium and luxurious. Well, as it's getting a bit dark, I can now start to see the ambient lighting as well, which is absolutely beautiful and stunning at night. So overall in the cabin, it does feel luxurious, and according to me at least, I feel it does justify the 325,000 dirham price tag. But there's a few things we have to talk about in terms of technology, which actually is quite a lot here. So first of all, you get screens for both the instrument cluster and the central infotainment screen. So in the center here, we get a 14-inch touchscreen infotainment screen, which comes with wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. It's quite smooth and intuitive to use. It does come with inbuilt navigation as well, which, well, if you have CarPlay, you would barely use inbuilt navigation. But anyways, you've got that. Overall, it's satisfactory to use. I have nothing to complain about. I really like the way they integrated the temperature dials. So they have the silver finishing around them as well, with a display in the center which shows your temperature, which is really nice. I like the way they've integrated it. Even the climate controls, if you know me personally, I do not like these stuff being integrated into a screen. I prefer physical buttons for climate control, but honestly, it's not too bad. I mean, the AC fan speed and all of your AC buttons are actually always there on the screen, so you don't have to keep going to a menu. It's just always there, and you can easily access it whenever you want. So I'm not complaining, it's fine to use. So as for other stuff, in this lower panel you have your seat heating and ventilation, your climate control buttons. The one thing I didn't like is that the drive modes are actually integrated into the screen. I have to actually go in, press a menu and swipe to access the drive modes, which honestly they could have just kept the old dial which they have in the older Lexus cars, or just put a dial here, a rotary knob, like how they did in the previous RX. Personally, I'd like that was better. But overall, nothing to complain about. I still haven't discovered all the features and menus in this screen. In fact, it's quite vast and massive to explore. There's a lot of customizable features in this car. So yeah, you can buy this car and actually explore all of it. I mean, in the 3 days I've had it, I've gone through most of it, but yeah, it's never ending. In fact, I did see a 2-hour tutorial video on how to use the screen on YouTube. So I think that kind of explains everything. But yeah, the takeaway is it's great. Nothing to complain about. Well, coming down below, you get your park assist button, which automatically parks the car for you. You get your 360-degree parking view button. So if you click that, it shows a 360 view all around the car. You get your 2 AC vents here below as well, which is actually quite interesting. The AC vent itself is actually split into an upper and lower section, and you can just move these to adjust the air conditioning and the airflow. Really interesting. You get 2 USB-C ports for charging, a USB-C port and a USB-A port for connectivity. So the only connectivity port is actually USB-A. You get a Qi wireless charging pad and then space to keep some things. So this actually can be closed. So there's actually a cover to close and open that. And coming to this actual center console bit, you do get your gear shifter here wrapped in leather. It has this nice metallic finish as well. Goes all around the gear selection indicators as well. And you get a park button and a reverse neutral drive. Now the way you engage gears on a Lexus is quite different. And in fact, newer Toyota products is quite different. So you actually slot it into side and then reverse. It goes into reverse. Slot it into the side and then it goes into drive. And you click the P button to engage park. So yeah, it's kind of different from your conventional shifter, but yeah, it's pretty good. It's easy to use. You get traction control off button. EV mode, well, this car is a hybrid, which means that you do have a very small kilometers of range which can be run fully electric. However, it's not a lot, and you have to charge up the hybrid battery through brake regeneration and all that. Traffic situations, you can engage EV mode, and the car will crawl forward silently. You have your electronic parking brake as well. But coming to the actual cup holders, one innovative thing that Lexus has done is that they've actually given us adjustable cup holders. I'll explain what I mean. So you have your usual spring triggers to secure your drink. So if I keep something here, it will sit securely. Now, if I want more space, what I can do is actually just push this platform down, and I can put my bottle in there. So I have more space to store my bottle. And if I click this push button over here, you can see that it kind of levitates the bottle up. So for example, if you want to keep a karak, you can just utilize that small space over there. So that's pretty useful. You do get a center armrest which can be opened from both sides. So yeah, a typical wow feature in newer Toyotas these days. Well, it has a perfume bottle in here. I have no idea who that belongs to. It's got a Salik tag and a couple of other stuff. Anyways, well, coming to the actual steering wheel, it does feel really nice in the hands. It's leather wrapped, does come with wooden trimming as well. Overall, does feel great. Does come with paddle shifters behind as well. Now, one thing that's new for the new RX are these touch controls for both the cruise control and the audio controls. So you have physical buttons for the volume up and down, and your cruise control on off, and your lane tracing assist, which is basically lane keep assist in Lexus language. But however, you have touch controls for your changing your display. So for example, if you click this icon right here, you can actually change your different displays for the instrument cluster, and also and it has two menus actually. So one is to change display, and one is for your cruise control. So you have to actually slide your finger or hover your finger on top of this pad to actually engage that. And on the left, you have your touch controls again for your seat track, which again you have to kind of slide your finger over it to activate it. So for example, while you're driving, you want to change your track and click it once. It might not actually change track the first time because it has to activate the touchpad first. If you click that first, and only then it will actually engage. So yeah, even that has two pages as well, both of which are quite similar. And yeah, I mean, overall, I think it's all right once you get used to it, and once you customize it the way you want, it'll be great. But personally, I think Lexus should have just stuck to the old buttons. So what's it like in the second row of the Lexus RX? Quite comfortable actually. So this is my driving position. So with that, you actually have more leg room. But I had a taller passenger seat in the front passenger seat, and still you can see that I have a decent amount of leg room, enough wiggle space for my feet, and knee room is also quite adequate. So yeah, not too much to complain about in space. It could be better, but it's all right. Headroom is also quite adequate, as you can see, not bad. You do get a lot of practicality in this cabin, so places just put things behind both the passenger and driver seats. Do get large bottle holders in the door cards as well, some more space to keep some things. You can see the door handle. Oh, the door handle, by the way, is actually quite interesting. So you have to actually press it and open it. So it's the new electronic latches. But other than that, yeah, it is quite spacious in the back. As for amenities, well, you do get AC vents in the back, which is quite important for our market. It does come with seat heating and ventilation for the rear seats as well, with temperature adjustment for climate control, and two USB-C ports. So yeah, that's quite convenient. And what else? You get this entertainment screen over here. It supports HDMI, USB, web link. Yeah, so you get a browser. It says web page not available because there is no internet here. But yeah, if you have internet connectivity, you can use that. What else? Oh yeah, center armrest for the rear passengers. Does come with two cup holders as well. About the right size to keep a cup of karak, which is great. So that's convenient. Apart from that, you get this massive panoramic sunroof, which lets in a lot of light into the cabin. So yeah, that's quite great. It gives that sense of airiness in this cabin. Other than that, you also do get these sun blinds. So you just drag them up and put it. Quite cool, isn't it? So that kind of helps keep the sunlight out. But yeah, keep that open for now. Alright, so what is the RX like to drive? Well, under the hood you get a 2.5 litre naturally aspirated hybrid petrol engine which produces 246 horsepower, 316 Newton meters of torque. So this is the 350h, so it is the starting in the hybrid range, so that's the engine that you get. However, the regular RX350 has a 2.4 litre turbocharged petrol engine, which actually produces more power than this. I think it's around 270-ish horsepower if I'm not wrong. So yeah, if you want a regular automatic with a turbocharged engine, that is the one to go for. However, if you value fuel economy and want some EV range and that quietness of a hybrid, then yeah, this is the one to go for. It's paired to a CVT transmission, which pushes power to all four wheels if required through an all-wheel drive system. And what are my thoughts about it? Well, first of all, the power delivery is quite smooth. When you need the power, that engine kicks in and gives you that power that you need. And even off the line, you kind of have that EV assist. For example, from the motors, you have that push. So it's a very smooth power delivery in that way. However, if you want a bit more oomph in your drive and you want a proper automatic, you can go for the regular RX350. But honestly, I mean, this car is actually all right. So like I said, the power is there when you need it. You have different drive modes like Eco, Normal, Sport. Steering is great. It has a decent weighting to it. It's quite nimble in a manner that you can quickly do a lane change. It's quite responsive. The steering is really nice. Brakes are also quite nice. I mean, typical Toyota, Lexus fashion. Yeah, the first half doesn't really have much of a bite, and after that the brakes kind of bite up. But yeah, I think it's all right. The brakes are also great. So yeah, for actual range, I think on a full tank you can get up to 700 plus kilometers of range. So let's talk about the actual hybrid system on this RX. So first of all, in terms of the engagement from the engine to the hybrid or hybrid to the engine, it's all right. The transition is fine, and it does like to go in the EV mode pretty much all the time. For example, when I take my leg off the gas and I'm coasting, yeah, the EV indicator has come on and it is now in EV mode. In fact, it does even get a dedicated EV mode button where I can use some of the electric range. Well, ride is actually quite decent, surprisingly, even considering the 21-inch wheels. So Lexus has done quite a great job in tuning the suspension for comfort. So I'm going over a bump right now. You can kind of see what I'm talking about. So the body motion is very controlled. I mean, that's one of the advantages of this TNGA platform is that the overall center of gravity is lower. The chassis is stiffer, so the body is stiffer, and it is much more control and better handling. So that's again one of the key takeaways of this TNGA platform is that it's just so good. The body motion is controlled, lower center of gravity, it's safer as well. So overall, it's all benefits with this new platform. So what's my final verdict on the RX? Well, it's an incredible car to drive. It's got power, it's got a pretty smooth power delivery. Air conditioning is also great. There's enough space on the inside. It's quite luxurious and comfortable to drive. I can live with this easily. It's a very comfortable car to drive. Well, if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to hit the subscribe button and comment down below which car you'd like to see next. Stay safe, have a great day, and goodbye.